It is the Friday night with Erdinger. We're in the Heads of Steam on Hanover Street. Looking out there, we can see all the way up where Crazy House used to be, so on and so forth, slap bang in the middle of the city. With me, I've got Lauren Black from the RMTV Women's Pod. I've got Harriet Pryor from Harriet Pryor Productions, and I've got John Gibbons from that blog that we've never seen. It is... It's a good...
It was good.
It's working away on it.
Still
bring
going,
it back.
still hopeful it's going to be back.
It is. I'll start with you, John, because we're here to talk about the women's game at Anfield on Sunday. First and foremost, it's brilliant it's at Anfield. It's brilliant it looks like it'll be in excess of 20,000 sold. It's brilliant, I think the vibe around it with them having 6 points on the board from the first two games. Everything to me sets it up to be a big Sunday.
Absolutely, yeah. I've just had a little look at the tickets and where you can still buy for them. Me and Harry were looking there, and you know, loads of the blocks in the Centenary and the Cop completely sold out. Others, when you click on them, only singles and stuff like that. So although there are still tickets available, and we encourage everyone to get involved, there's a lot sold, which is great because they deserve it, because they've started the season so well. And you know, we all wanted to see as many Liverpool fans there as possible. Obviously, there'll be Everton fans too, but as many Liverpool fans as possible to cheer them on. So really pleased with how well it looks to have sold from some sort of my little look there, and can't wait. Really looking forward to it.
It's with a lot, and we'll get into why the game matters in the sense of literally for the competition this season in a minute. But before then, it matters, and it matters that it sells well, in order to reinforce that this is the new generation of Liverpool women. That obviously there was everything that happened around COVID, but there's been a bit of mismanagement before then. Now they're back, there's no mismanagement whatsoever. They looked the part, and I think this is bigger than last season's one, because right now it doesn't feel like, oh, we'll see how they get on the top flight. Now it feels like they've arrived and this is real.
Yeah, 100%. I think just the first two games of the season proves that, and I think they're kind of going into this weekend with kind of a bit more of a point to prove in terms of, yes, they need to get a win at Anfield in the derby, but I think 3 wins out of 3 with Arsenal, Aston Villa and Everton would be absolutely huge just for the rest of the season. So I think not just having a good performance, but having as many people there as possible to kind of spare them on to do that would be absolutely amazing.
As part of it as well, it's also part of this, them being in Melwood. For me, that, when I was lucky to interview Niamh Fahey about it, one of the things I said was there's no hiding places here. You've got an elite facility. This is elite sport. This is happening. And she was, throw the challenge down. We want to demand everything, and Sunday's another brick in that idea of demanding everything from them. Yeah,
100%. I think you can see the switch in mentality from the squad since going to Melwood. It's not just somewhere that they just go every day for an hour. It's their place of comfort. So to have Melwood there, that you can be before games, train well, recover well, it gives them just that little bit of extra mentality and that little bit more edge to be like, well, we deserve to be here, so we deserve to play at Anfield, so let's go out and prove that.
I think how they view themselves, Harriet, is massive. Last year, around the start of the season, yes, they get the win against Chelsea, but it felt like there was a long time where there was something to prove, and then something flips around January, where it stops being that they've got something to prove in terms of whether or not they're good enough to be at this level. They're just at this level. And for me, that's why this is a very different game to the same fixture last season when it was at Anfield.
Yeah, I think last year was really, their aim was just to be competitive in every single game, and sometimes it didn't go their way and they were playing opposition where you could just notice that there was a huge gap in terms of the WSL experience, the fact that these teams like United and Arsenal have so much funding behind them, they've been in the league a long time. There was a big difference, and now they've just introduced themselves into the league, and it's not like we're just here to compete in every game. We're here to win in every game, and we feel like our squad is good enough to do that, and they've shown that already in the early stage of the season. And you think back to this fixture last year when they played at Anfield, and they just didn't look like they were ready for the occasion, the sense of occasion, the amount of fans there. They just felt like it all was a bit too much for them. And then they played at Goodison, and it was something had changed, and that was the point last January where you feel like the momentum's building, they feel like they belong, and they feel like they're good enough to be here. And this year, I think that is just carrying on, and to be at Anfield, they've already played at Emirates in front of a crowd of over 50,000 people.
And this is massive, Harriet. They've actually played in front of the biggest crowd
exactly.
in WSL history.
Exactly, and they not only played in front of them, they won. They managed to cling on against a really, really strong side away from home. They've got that experience as a new group, because there's a lot of new players as well in this. And I just think other teams won't have really been looking at them before the start of the season, and now they're thinking, well, why not? We want to push for those Champions League spots. We want to be competing at the top of the table, and we think we're good enough to be there.
And the idea of them, everything coming together in terms of them feeling worthy, and then also the new additions as part of this as well, John. And if we're all honest about it a little bit, some of the departures as well, like feeling like this squad's being built and built and built towards a really clear purpose. I think, again, I'm just into the no hiding places thing for me on Sunday. You know, I don't want any hard luck stories. I don't want to be saying, oh, well, it was difficult for this reason or that reason. They're not used to grass or this quality. That you can't have that now. The facility at Melwood's absolutely outrageous. They've got what they've got at Emirates. Like, I want to heap the pressure on this Liverpool team, however harsh that might sound.
Well, it's the first derby that I've known, to be honest with you, in terms of recent years where they've been favourites going into it. Obviously, you know, you look at, you know, time they were champions 10 years ago and things like that. But in the last 5 years, it's probably the first derby where they've going on and people, you know, will be expecting Liverpool to win the game. And that does bring its own pressure. But like you say, they seem all right with it and they've been growing to this point. I think it's consecutive transfer windows now, probably 5 where they've got better. Yeah. And that's good planning. And so the football club and the manager deserve a lot of praise for that. You know, and they've got better as they went. Even halfway through the season where they got promoted, they strengthened in that season to get them over the. I think that's when Stengel comes in, isn't it? It's to get them over the. It's in theory to get them over the line, but they probably know it. It's looking ahead to next season and getting the players in, you know, at that point so they can get used to the teammates and they can hit the ground running. And then I thought the signings they made last January were absolutely.
I can't wait to watch Nagano at Anfield. Well, honestly, I can't wait.
Well, she'll be fine with the pressure. She played World Cups. Do you know what I mean? And so she wants the big stage. She's happy with the big stage, and so she'll enjoy the big pitch and the nice surface and all that. And yeah, if you think she passed it well at Prenton Park, I think even you passed it well at Anfield.
Yeah, I mean, I did, but we don't get bogged down in that.
I was going to say with Melwood as well, that you can say to these new signings who maybe have been playing in the bigger leagues, you can be like, look at the facilities we have here now. That's a massive thing. If you bringing a new signing to maybe their old training facilities, you're trying to sell the club and sell the vision of the project. It wasn't really doing it, and now you can say, look at this, like look what we've got, look what we're building. And I feel like the new signings that come in this summer have become part of that project now, part of that building something bigger. You just feel that momentum right now, don't you?
Erdinger looks brilliant, gets the goal last weekend. It's a great goal, but she's looked so tidy in the 2 games so far, and in bits and pieces of pre-season. The idea of her with Nagano, with Kerry Holland, with Kearns, I mean, these are really strong midfield options for Liverpool, but really strong midfield options in the final third as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you've seen the first 2 games, obviously, we're both playing a little bit further up front as well, which allows here to have a bit more freedom, but it gives a bit more freedom for those in the centre of the park as well. And we all know Kerry Holland, she just loves to run, so that's covered. So it kind of gives the Nagano and Erdinger like that little bit extra more freedom to kind of, you know, be a bit more creative and create opportunities. And the fact that you're getting goals from midfield is brilliant as well. So yeah, it's for me, it's us strengthening in every single position. We haven't just picked, we need a new striker, let's go all out and get a new striker. We've strengthened everywhere, and you can see that's paid off massively because we've kept 2 clean sheets, but we've also scored goals as well, which is something that we struggled to do both last season and the season before.
It's mentioned there the clean sheets. They look strong, and I think the idea that the spine's stronger is important. Obviously, Stengel's a blow, and it's a shame she's not getting to play at Anfield in this one, John, after everything she gave last season. But apart from that, you just look at that spine and feel as though it is getting stronger all the time.
Yeah, like I say, it's at least 5 consecutive windows, maybe more, where they've just got better and better, and they've built it. It's been in the evolution of the team, and you've been watching it, and you can see, you know, they haven't made anything rash. They haven't sort of gone out and said we need to throw everything out. They've looked at it. He's assessed the squad when he went up to the Super League, decided halfway through, obviously the manager and I'm sure everyone else involved, the analysts and people involved in the women's team, and thought, you know, here's some areas where we can improve. They've done it again, you know, in the summer, and it's just gradual. Isn't it? It's gradual improvements. And listen, we'd have all loved to have come up to the Super League and start talking about being a potential Champions League team, but it's just not realistic, is it? But what they've done, I think they probably feel ahead of schedule, and they probably certainly feel ahead of schedule this season because they're sat on 6 points from 2 tough games, and so it's exciting, and it's an exciting team, and I hope they're excited to play at Anfield. You know, you don't want the occasions to get to them too much, but you know, you want them to enjoy it as well, because it's a brilliant opportunity, and the better it goes, and the more chance we'll get more games this year, which is what we all want as well, including them.
Well, I think that's the key thing with it, Harry, is in terms of people coming, getting behind them, enjoying it, enjoying the full day as an experience. I think for me this now begins to flip a little bit, not just the idea of selling tickets, but people getting stuck into it whilst they're there in every single way. What that means, what that will lead to, is more and more games at Anfield. this season at the Emirates, Arsenal doing at least 5. There's some talk they might end up doing 8. But part of the reason why that happens is there's an economic argument. People coming to Anfield, it'll make a massive difference.
Well, that's the thing, and we can't underestimate the fact that we want to support it, but it is still a business, isn't it? And they won't be putting it at Anfield if they're losing money and having the fixture there. And Emma Hayes was speaking about this the other week because she was being asked about why they charge what they do for the women's games in Stamford Bridge, and she said it costs 300 grand to open this stadium. So unless we start selling tickets and charging money for these tickets, it's just not financially viable to keep having them at these stadiums, and that's what we want, and that's what we've got to do. So if we want to be there, we want to keep going to watch the women's team at Anfield because it's their stadium as well. It shouldn't just be the stadium that belongs to the men. It should be both teams playing there. Then we've got to get behind it. We've got to support it. And hopefully we see as many people there as possible. I feel like last-minute planners have to be a bit more advanced because you can't buy tickets on the day, can you? It's got to be by 4 o'clock on the Saturday. So if you are thinking about it on the fence, it's also great to you bring Ted, don't you, along? It's a really good one for families.
But it's his first time at Anfield,
exactly.
Which is like
you
as
don't get the
exciting
opportunity sometimes.
it's as exciting for me to watch the team is to take Ted to Anfield for the first time.
And if he gets a result, he can come back. It's got to look at that. A lot of pressure on his shoulders.
He's been to Taggies 3 times, but he's not been to Anfield.
It's £1, isn't it, for a child's ticket as well?
It's 11 quid for me and Ted, and so
yeah.
I think if you're not prepared to pay that, then you're probably not prepared to pay anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's £11 for me and me lad, and that's boss.
Excellent stuff. We are here with Erdinger in the head of steam. Back to get stuck into the bones of this game in a minute or two.
And Erdinger, please.
Stop! Don't forget the best bit.
Welcome back. Harriet hammered that during the break. Getting into the game, Lauren, there is in this is an Everton side that's not started the season well. Let's be clear, John said before about Liverpool being favourites for this. You know, this is an Everton side that last season takes 4 points off Liverpool, finishes ahead of Liverpool in the table, Everton 6th, Liverpool 7th. But it feels like Liverpool have had the good summer, they've had the good start. They are favourites for a reason here, Liverpool. There is that bit of pressure, which I think is a good bit of pressure.
Yeah, I think it's always good pressure, but also the way you've got to look at it is with Merseyside derbies, half the time form goes out the window. So Everton are coming into this game with kind of a point to prove and kind of to get their season going, basically. So I wouldn't expect it to be as an easy game as a lot of people would expect, but it's nice going into it being favourites, and it's nice going into it knowing that you're going to get a good performance from a Liverpool team, because like we said last season, the first half they basically froze. Second half they come out better, but at that point the game's kind of already gone. So it's important for us to get off to a really good start, but then Everton will come out, I think, all guns blazing, because they want to start their season too.
You were at the press conference today. What sort of form was the manager in? What came out of it? Who was fit? Who are you expecting to see start?
He was very cards close to his chest today, but he said, surprising from my field.
Indiscreet as anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
You should start doing the press conferences there.
No, that would be good, that. But yeah, apart from Fahy, Shanice and Leanne Kernan, we've got a fully fit squad, so we are expected to see Sophie Roman-Hard make her debut. I don't think she'll quite start just because she hasn't played yet, but that'll be like another exciting moment for the fans to see her kind of come on the pitch. She looks a really exciting player, so that's a good addition.
The important thing about her injury is, and I don't mean to be sort of trite about it looked like a horrible injury, but it didn't involve any of the key limbs. You see what I mean? You know, it was literally just her face. Yeah. She was out, open brackets face, closed brackets. Yeah. So, she
should be still on the treadmill, is that what you're saying?
All I'm saying is that she should at least be in full physical nick.
She should be, and he said she'll be playing with the mask as well, so that's something she's been training with all week as well. Yeah, she looks amazing.
She'll do the throw off on like 10 minutes. You know, they all do it. They're like dramatic effect. They miss a chance, they chuck the mask off.
That'll be well off. There's a last minute goal as well. So she's trained with that all week as well. So yeah, like you said, there's no key limbs injured there, so she should be in good form.
With them, John, I said before, we watched the Arsenal game, we watched the Villa game, watch the Villa game back, but watch the Villa game, and what you're seeing is you're seeing a team that looks like it's just gone up a notch in every area of the pitch. I think that's what I loved about the Arsenal game was they had the best chance. You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff from set pieces from Arsenal, and they're putting the pressure on. But ultimately, in terms of chances from open play, Liverpool had the best chance of the game. And I wouldn't have said that to you. Even if you said to me Liverpool won, I'd have said, well, maybe they get one for a set piece and they defend for their lives, and the goalkeeper's doing heroics. Don't get me wrong, the goalkeeper plays well, but she's mostly just dealing with set pieces. They played so well in all phases to keep Arsenal at arm's length.
Yeah, and had the confidence to do so, and I don't think you can go to somewhere like Arsenal and win unless you first of all believe you can do it, then you execute the game plan that the manager wants. And I think that's what I enjoyed about it as well. You could see what they were trying to do to turn Arsenal around, to get them on the back foot, to get them worrying about a few things as well. And how they come out the second half in that game showed like a team who thought, I know we can catch them out here. We can get a punch on them early, if you like, before they've got the guard up and they know what's happening. And that's what they did. They get the goal, but there's a big chance before that as well. And then they hold on. And I want a fast start, and that's what I want to see. And I think in this game, we saw that against Aston Villa, and I think that's what they want to do, because I think Everton, I take Lauren's points about the form going out the window, but it'd be natural if they came into it with the confidence a little bit sort of dented, and I think they'll actually try and feel their way into the game a little bit, Everton. I think they'll bite your hand off a 0-0 on 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and not much sort of happening. And especially with the injury problems they've got, you saying there, then Liverpool are pretty much at full strength. You'd like the forwards, in a stronger position, but aside from that, we're in a really good position. They're not, it has to be said, on top of the fact that they've lost the first two games. And so I think for Liverpool, if we can start fast like they did against Aston Villa, like they showed they can do, I think they can put a real marker down. And then it could be a long afternoon for Everton. I really do think that. We've got the potential. You're getting the crowd on the side. Everyone's getting excited. Andy Bell's going mad. There's a real potential, I think, as I say, for it to be a really good afternoon for Liverpool. But the start's key for me.
I mentioned Agano in terms of football that I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to that new back line. I think that Bonner, second half of last season, comes in and makes a massive difference, and she'll be a big part of this as well. There are players that on the Liverpool side that I'm genuinely very, very excited to see in person a couple of times. For the first time, this will be for me, but I am looking forward to seeing a lot of this Liverpool team. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Yeah, I am as well. I feel like Taylor Hines' role has been interesting this season, that she's being asked to play a lot higher up the pitch and kind of get more involved in an attacking sense. Koivisto did that from the other flank already quite a lot last season, but you can see that Hines, that's an area of her game that she's really working on. So I like those two fullbacks pushing higher up in the back three, basically alongside Bonner. There's two new players alongside her, and that it already looks really settled.
On that, one of the things I thought in both when the Arsenal game was going in normal run, but especially the Villa game, and I thought that a little bit last season when Bonner came in. To me, that back three feels like it's 10 yards higher. And because of that, Taylor Hines is higher, Kovisto's higher, their starting positions are higher, so it's easier for them to get involved. It feels like there's a real confidence in that back line that I can step a little bit further up.
Yeah, 100%, and I think that's helping to contribute to the build-up play and the more flow in the midfield. And then when you don't have the natural strikers on the pitch, because who's been playing there, Kearns and Jana Daniels. Daniels obviously is more of a striker, but it's not a natural strike partnership, is it? So you need all the help you can get from the midfield and from the wide areas, and that's what we've been seeing in the early stage of the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that operates and how that kind of plays out at the weekend. Yeah, Bonner for me, I always love watching her because I feel like her recovery pace, the way she just gets her head in and her leg in, like all the tackles she makes, I just love watching her, the last ditch defending. I think they trust her to do that and the chill alongside her as well. Who else am I looking forward to seeing? Yeah, Erdinger, new player again, and hopefully we get to see a debut from, I'm still not saying her name right, Sophie Roman Hogg?
I think it's Hogg, Roman Hogg.
Roman Hogg,
we'll go with that. I've got no idea.
Yeah, hopefully she gets on the pitch because she's meant to have come in as the replacement for Stengel, and we all know how much we love Stengel and how gutted we were to see her go, so we'd love if she can make an impact straight away. So yeah, excited to see a lot of players, but mostly just how they all operate together, because I think it's such a new look team this year.
Are they going to win? Are they going to win?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course they are. I feel like I go into all Liverpool games confident, but I feel like it's as John mentioned before, you just kind of feel like we've got that little bit more of an edge this season. And I think as well, you've got to mention like Natasha Flint coming off the bench. Our bench over the last couple of seasons has been very, very short. So the fact that you've got players like her, Mia Enderby, coming on with energy with 70 minutes to go, regardless.
Millie Taylor possibly coming on.
Millie Taylor coming on, like your options are kind of endless at this point. So I think you can kind of get a goal from anywhere. So yeah, the confidence is high.
Good win?
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. Listen, we've been a bit scarred and we bypassed one, so you don't want to be sort of too overconfident and cocky, but I think if they get one, they'll get 3. This was my feeling. If they get one, they'll get 3.
Yeah, Everton have lost at Jess Park. She scored against us last year. I feel like she was an important player unknown for them. She's gone now, so I feel hopeful. I feel like we'll get a result. Hopefully the nerves don't show and they just enjoy the sense of occasion because they've absolutely earned it and deserve it.
There we are, 9 points. 9 points at this stage of the season. It's only a 22-game season. I keep pointing that out. If you get 3 wins from your first 3, you're in such good nick if it's only a 22-game season. And I concur, Liverpool will get 3 wins from 3. The pressure's on, but they're going to absolutely do the business. Enjoy your Friday night.